Hello everyone, Jonathan here from Triple M Games, and I'm going to be showing you a quick update to my Blender 2.8 Alpha and Normal Maps baking setup. In the far left, we have a script. This will control the width and height of your render. It will also give you the ability to choose if you want to use the default panel settings for resolution, or if you want to use the script. Just set that to 0 and you'll use Blender's default. Set it to 1, it will use these width and height variables. You also have the choice of rendering alpha maps or normal maps, or both of them at the same time. So for now I'm going to skip past the active slots. I'll explain that later. We have a few if checks, and obviously if the change resolution is set to 1, it will change the resolution. If the render alpha is set to 1, it will render out the alpha map and the normal map. So let me go back over here. Now let's take a look at how the scene is set up. I have the compositor to where it will control the height. The black value is for the closest to the camera and the white value is furthest away. I have an invert node here so you can swap that if you'd like. And this is just for confirming that you're going to use the compositor and a quick viewer so you can see what the render looks like. Now if we look down in the bottom left and right, we have the render results, and to the bottom right we have the 3D viewport. We're going to be using this for rendering out the normal maps, which is technically just using a matte cap. So you can change that if you want different results. But we're just going to use normal map for now. And in the top left of the text editor, you can click on Run Script. We're going to change the resolution, which I'm going to change this down to 2048 by 1024, just so we can see how that works. And for now, we're just going to render out the alpha. I'm going to click on Render, or Run Script. And as you can see, it changed our camera resolution. So I'm going to change that back to 2048 by 2048. And I'm also going to render out the normal map. As if you'll notice in slot 1, we have the alpha map, and slot 2, we have the soon-to-be normal map. So run script. So if you'll notice, it jumped straight to slot 2, but it did change slot 1. I have been trying to figure out how to save out these images as you render. I could only get the alpha map to export, and the viewport render is a little tricky to export. So you'll just have to go to Image, Save As, select your directory, black and white for alpha map, red, green, and blue for the normal map, or you could use RGBA if you want alpha. Just gonna cancel. And that is... oh. Alright, we're going to go back to the active slot. As I mentioned here, we have slot 1 and slot 2. So if we were to change this, I'm going to only render out the normal map for this demonstration. The normal map is active slot 2. We're going to change this to 5, and then click Render. If you'll notice, it says slot 6. That is because it starts at 0. So if I wanted to be in slot 5, it would have to be slot 4. And that can be changed for the alpha map as well. If you want to change that, go into... then add the 9th slot. Change this to 0. Change this to 1. And then run script. And then it renders out into the 8th slot. And that's how my new render setup works. Everything else works the same as the last version. You just change what you want to render out. And then you go over to the compositing and click render or run script. As you can see, the normal map has transparency. So this is how I create my alpha maps and normal maps now. I hope you enjoyed and that this was useful to you. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.